Welcome everybody to BP1. We were sitting here tonight going over the upcoming games and decided to go live and kind of do a recap of the week and just see who would all pop on and see what you guys had to say. If you guys are on in chat, leave us some questions. I'm Earl Baumgartner. Got Benjamin Baumgartner. He's kind of the play-by-play guy you hear a lot of the times for Ezekiel Knights. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Benjamin.
Yeah, we had a good week for Ezekiel football this week. They got a pretty dominating win, probably one of the most dominant wins that we've definitely seen from the Knights. They were able to win 84-7 against a young North River Christian team, but a team that was very game. First thing I'd like to say is welcome to BP1 SportsNet. We are pretty much the home, or try to be the home of Ezekiel Knights football. We try and cover all of their games when we can. We obviously have to congratulate the JV team, who also got a win tonight against North River Christian. Let me see if I can't pull up that score for us real quick.
Yeah, they were playing a home game in Wetumpka, and I was out there for the first part of the game, and I think when I left, it may have been tied. Russell had just scored when I left, but it looked like it was going to be a good game. Pretty decent crowd on hand.
Let's see if we can't pull up the score real quick. It was definitely a tight game by the looks of it. Let's see if we can't pull up our Ezekiel Academy here on Max Preps.
And if anybody's watching and has the score, let us know what it is.
There it is. It was 28-16, so the Knights able to win it by 12. The JV Knights did a good job starting their season off 1-0, as well did the varsity Knights. Started off really hot and never really slowed down in their game against North River. They had a few little ups and downs on occasion, but really there was only one team winning that game. Obviously, the Knights had the physical advantage for the most part, pretty much through their defense and their offense. One of the things that we did want to talk a little bit about was whenever we saw the Knights last year kind of play, they relied heavily on the quarterback position in Austin Gay, and we kind of wondered how the Knights would replace a quarterback of that caliber. But Peyton Leach absolutely stepped up and did a fantastic job. Threw a couple of bombs down. We saw Brendan Tormey catch a deep one. Bradley Baumgartner also caught one. Leach also stepped up on the defense, got a pick six. So having him step up, he's done a really good job so far. Obviously, they didn't start off with the biggest test, but I think going forward, I think he's going to be a great choice for quarterback. Obviously, we also had some new faces step into the team. A couple of those guys able to get some play time. Guys like Miles Miles Richardson stepped up, got himself a touchdown as well on the ground. So a couple of those guys stepping in, doing a good job, kind of fitting into what will be a new system for them. Obviously, we saw Miles last year. He played against us actually. I can't quite remember where he came from, but him fitting into a new system, he's a big physical guy, so I think he'll fit right in at Ezekiel Academy. We did give up a touchdown. It looked like a bit of blown coverage. I think Peyton Patchell ended up saying it was all on him at the end of the day, but
For
really,
the as much of a lopsided game that it was, you have to give it to the Chargers. A lot of even college and pro teams, when the score's that one way, you could see the team just basically quit trying. But the Chargers stayed in there, and the entire game, those guys kept playing the
yeah,
entire game. And really, I know they were frustrated, but you really didn't see it from watching the game.
no, definitely not. And even obviously we have kind of a mercy rule. If you're up by, I believe it's 30 points, usually the clock winds down kind of no matter what happens in the play, barring an injury or a timeout. But I don't think sitting at home, I unfortunately couldn't make the game. But I don't think the clock ever
You
really stopped running, or ever just continued to run. So I think the meeting of the coaches we had during halftime, they said, we'll keep playing the game like normal, and if the Knights score more points, they score more points. But North River able to go out there and get themselves a touchdown on a little bit of a mistake from the Knights. And there was a few little rusty spots for Ezekiel. The first touchdown that Brendan Tormey caught, him and Bradley Baumgartner pretty much ran the exact same route, which I don't think it was drawn up that way. And Peyton missed his receiver on the one touchdown pass. So there's a few little things to work out early on for Ezekiel in this season and kind of knock the rust off a little bit. But
and I think
all
we
in
said
all, a
that
pretty positive performance.
that pass with Brennan and Bradley Baumgartner. Probably the taller guys are going to catch it, which will be um, always be Brennan.
Yeah, always going to be Brennan. I think Bradley might have him on the speed front, but Brennan Tormey definitely has the height advantage. And Brennan Tormey as well has no doubt gotten faster through the offseason. We saw him quite a bit on defense, put in a lot of good pursuit of the quarterback, started to blow up some runs, things like that. He's definitely grown into quite a football player, especially only being a junior this year. A lot of seniors on this team, but as far as juniors go, I feel like he might be the one going forward that'll have the most impact.
Most definitely, and bringing back up, you know, Peyton Leach stepping into that quarterback, but that was question mark of some big shoes to fill from Austin Gay, who was really helped that team a lot at the quarterback position last year, and Peyton's come in and first game filled the shoes. And we've watched him in spring training. He's done great at passing. He's a big guy.
Yeah, very big, very physical, and even the first touchdown pass he threw, he was on the move, threw it across his body, and it was a heck of a throw to be able to drop on a dime from 30 yards. And he may not quite have the legs that Austin Gay had for the Knights, but I feel like downfield he's just maybe a little bit more accurate. Kind of gives the Ezekiel the ability to use the speed and size that they have at receiver a little bit better, especially going downfield. The Knights last year liked the sling pass, like a screen or a little slant inside, but this time you can just let some of your speed burners just go and throw one up for them to go get. And I think that's one of the benefits you'll get with Peyton Leach this season. I feel like we'll see a couple more deep balls. Obviously, we did lose Noble Sefton, but I feel like some of the Knights that did come back here for the senior year, they're going to be some real key players. Guys like Peyton Leach, Peyton Patchell, Bradley Baumgartner. Like we said, Brennan Tormey is still only a junior, so he'll have another year at Ezekiel. But some of those guys, some of those senior guys, obviously really stepped up in the offseason, put a lot of leadership in, and hopefully we'll continue to see their confidence grow going forward.
And with that, if anybody has any questions they want to throw out there, throw them in the chat, and we will. I'm sure Benjamin will have a great answer for you. We've got him out of the recliner. If you saw last week, he had a little bug and had to stay home and did a little bit of announcing from the recliner at the house. So if you didn't catch that, go back and watch the game sometime in the third or fourth quarter. And
somewhere in there. One other thing I do want to talk about too is obviously this last week's game was an away game, but one fun thing we will have this year is we do actually officially have a stadium. So we're no longer kind of the nomads of 8-man football. We do officially have a stadium now, so we'll be in the Wetumpka Stadium, the old Wetumpka Stadium, the exact place where the Knights won the state championship last year. And I think playing in a place like that where you kind of have some memories of winning a state championship, especially in the dominant way that they did, I feel like that'll help just increase the confidence, kind of the familiarity of the stadium. Because we did play 2 games there right at the end of last year. We played the game against Lighthouse that pretty much stopped the undefeated run for the Knights. But then also they came back and got their revenge on Lighthouse, winning the state championship against them in the exact same stadium.
So what I'm going to do now is I think we'll pull up some of the highlights from the game and play through them. I'll see if I can get them in a.
I feel like we had to pick and choose a couple because if we decided to run through the whole highlight reel for Ezekiel in that 84-7 win, I feel like we might be sitting here for quite a lot longer.
About the 25.
Here we go. Start of the game.
And he is in the open field. He's actually
Bradley Baumgartner
the 30.
Takes him down to about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, they started off quick, the Knights did. I thought they might just go ahead and score one without having to take a snap from scrimmage, but Bradley Baumgartner did eventually get run down, but it wasn't really much of a hassle. One play later, the Knights were able to punch one into the end zone. Corey Murphy stepping in at running back has done a great job. There was that deep ball. We saw Brendan Tormey and Bradley Baumgartner get mixed up a little bit. I think that was a bit of a miscommunication on the route there. The Knights are leading 36-0 at this point, and that was the pursuit and the speed of the defense getting into the backfield.
Chargers were the big play. The Chargers had a good drive in the first.
Yeah, they did. The
They
Knights had a lot of
fumbled the
resolve to
ball. Miles
eventually kill the
Richardson
drive.
throws
Flag
it.
coming
He
in there, set
slings
up
it out
the
there,
Chargers
and it's
deep,
caught
but a
40
quick fumble
yards.
recovery for the Knights,
And
and one of the
a
newcomers,
missed tackle.
Miles,
This
able
is
to
going to
jump
go
onto
a
that ball.
long
That's one of the
play.
deep
Corey
balls
Murphy
downfield. That's the
taken off
accuracy
down the
we do see
sidelines.
from Leach.
And he is running,
Kind
running,
of that downfield
running.
ball that they were
And
able to hit. We did have a couple penalties
they're not
on a
going to
couple of
catch
these
him.
drives that did take back
At
some touchdowns for
their
the Knights,
47.
Well,
which
that
was
was
And they give it
unfortunate.
back
I
to
think
him,
they
and he
had
takes off
3
down the
plays
Yeah.
for
sideline,
200
and
something yards that were
nobody
called
even
back
blocked
for,
Yeah,
in
that was
time,
the
so they
second
can't
one in a
call a
row.
penalty.
and that eventually scored there.
Yeah, they were
We're going to
eventually
stay.
able to get
So at
one with no
halftime,
flags down.
they're at halftime, 57-0. Like, and
Knights
a
take
little highlight
over.
here in the second
That
half.
is
Cecil Coon, our
Cecil
senior
Coon
spotlight,
in at
takes a
quarterback,
snap,
and he runs it in for a touchdown.
and he picks up the score there.
He faked the handoff to Richardson there and just kept it himself and went ahead and barreled himself into the end zone. And I feel like the game was probably over before then, but if it wasn't then, it definitely was after they were able to punch in and make it 57-0. And they probably could have, done even more. But getting guys like Brendan Tormey, snaps at quarterback, obviously good in case don't want to say it. But if you do pick up an injury at the quarterback position, you have a couple guys back there. Miles took a couple snaps at running back, as well as Corey Murphy did. So you've got a couple guys in there that can really rotate out. A lot of big physical guys that can really play a few different positions for you whenever you need them to. And I feel like even if it comes down to it, the Knights can really fall back on guys like Leach, Patchell, Zorn. We didn't even talk about Isaiah Zorn and how well he played on defense. Brennan Tormey, Bradley Bumgarner. There's just a lot of names out there that can really make things happen for you. Whereas you look kind of last year, there was a few names, but you didn't really think that they would, or that you didn't feel that are quite as explosive as this offense has been so far this year. And we're only one game in. Obviously, there was only going to be one winner in that game last week. But I feel like going forward, the Knights are just going to continue to grow in confidence. And once they knock even more of the rust off 2-3 games deep, I feel like they can really start to put together another good season and hopefully make another run for a state championship.
So this week, the varsity team is scheduled to play Russell Christian.
Mhm.
So I'm saying it's scheduled because of some things that are going on right now, and we'll see if that game is going to happen. But Russell Christian, I watched some of the highlights from the other game. They're going to be a good team coming from Reading. They're always a good team in our conference.
Always a good team. I remember last year we were actually able to go to Meridian and beat them for the first time in however long, but this time they get to come to Wetumpka and take on the Knights. They're starting off 1-0 as well. I believe they won. Yeah, they were able to get their win against Tuscaloosa Christian 34-0. So they obviously have a strong defense coming out as well. We might see just what offense kind of has the resolve and the will to win against a couple of tough defenses.
Next week will be our friends at Freedom Cowboys. It'll be another home game and another conference game.
Yep.
Or actually, it's not a conference game, but another big
rival, basically.
Yeah,
for
another big
Ezekiel.
rival. So we played
name
there
that we know very well. But I think the Knights having a lot of home games this year, as opposed to last year. Really, we didn't really have a home, per se, but able to get a couple of home games in this year. So hopefully we'll have a familiar setting in the Wetumpka Stadium and be settled right into it, going 7-8 games deep, and hopefully making another run for a state championship and possibly even a national championship.
Then on the 17th, they take on the Lightning, the rivals.
Yep, that'll be the big game to watch. The Lightning, always a tough opponent this year. Won the national championship against the Knights last year, but they did lose a few big names. Obviously, Jet Lodge is a big name that everyone knows. He was a senior last year, played a good national championship, and so they will be losing him. And I feel like the Knights only coming out stronger this year as opposed to last year, which I didn't really think would be possible for this team after losing a couple of great players like they did. But a lot of those juniors stepped up this year and stepped into being seniors this year. So I feel like the Knights will, have to knock a few, a little bit of rusty spots off. But going forward, North Christian was a good warm up game. But I think the real schedule starts this week.
And I'm trying to pull up here to see who the Lightning play.
Let's see if we can pull it up real quick.
Scrolling through here through our. Actually, the Lightning are on October 1.
Yeah, we got them on the 1st. Let's see. Yeah, they started their season off 2-0, beat Meadowview Christian 56-0. I believe that was in their second game. I'm sorry. They beat Franklin Christian Academy out of Franklin, Tennessee, 41-29. So able to give up some points, but obviously winning 56-0 is nothing to sniff at. They will be coming to play at Wetumpka though, so that'll be a little bit of advantage for the Knights. The past 2 years we have had to go and travel to play them away, but we play them on October the 1st, I believe. So that'll be an exciting game, no doubt. Always is. And no doubt going to be a heated game. We saw in the national championship some tempers started to flare a little bit in that game. So I'll be curious to see how it kind of translates over to this week, until October.
So, you guys, like I said, we were just sitting around getting ready for a game this week and just decided to go live. We were looking over the stats and the schedule and said, let's just go live and put this stuff out there. You guys, leave some comments or something in the below in the chat, and we will, we may try to do this every week if we can. So, but we for sure want you guys to join in. For sure, we want you to go to the game if you can make it to the game.
Absolutely.
Try to always make the game. But if you can't, we're going to do our best to be there. 6 home games right now for us, maybe more, and we're pretty confident that we'll be able to cover most of the games there. So we certainly, if you can't make the game, want you to tune in and watch it. We normally stream the games over Facebook because most people are used to that. Then we have the game recorded and we'll upload a higher quality to YouTube. So that's kind of the process that we go by. So
Yeah, I think it worked well for first game. Like it was a little bit of a tester, but I feel like going forward that'll be a good format for us to put out. But obviously that's for everyone else to decide, not just us.
So with that, guys, thanks for joining in, and hopefully we will see you guys Friday when we broadcast the Ezekiel game on Friday. So we'll see you then.